Hi, this is your boy Terry once again. My username across the internet is Surpassinggoogle, and I am a legitimate illiterate. And you're welcome here. In this particular video, I'm going to be explaining another verse from the curriculum of legitimate illiteracy. I'm on the road, so there's going to be external noises. Please bear with me. Let's just wait for that vehicle to pass by. Yes, I'm also near an airport, so there's always airplanes passing as well. But that's the essence of this video. As you're here, I want you to apply your being and spirit in listening to me. You know, in the face of the discomfort, dig up yourself, evolve your human virtues, exercise your human virtues, your human senses in a bid to listen to my undertone, the underlying context of this message. This message is legitimate illiteracy derived from the no books. When I say no books, I refer to no-books. In many of the books that have been written, most of the books are attaining a completion. There needs to be a revelation of the rare intel contained in the no books. This is called legitimate illiteracy. This knowledge is essential for our evolution. Where this knowledge is revealed, knowledge attains a wholeness, a balance, and becomes available to anyone. So that's the value of this knowledge, legitimate illiteracy. I've broken it into verses. Let's wait for that. Yes, and in this particular video, I'm going to read one of the verses from legitimate illiteracy, and I'll explain it. So let me just read it. This will tackle technology. When it comes to legitimate illiteracy, it spans across every human activity, every industry, and in this case, technology. So we are going to see the application of this verse in technology. Today, the world is known for advancement in technology, especially in our era, as compared to older eras. So let's see how we can apply legitimate illiteracy towards technology and evolution in technology. I apologize for this noise. Anyway, yes. So the verse. This is the verse. I'd like to read it out to you. It says, while the geeks take the route of emanating complex outer space innovation, there must be another taking the simplest yet circumvented down-to-earth approach to innovation. This is essential for balance sake. That's the end of the verse. I'll read it again. Please take note that, if you have questions, so in case you don't understand something in this video, you have questions, just leave me a comment and email, and I'll, write an entire article to explain it to you, or do another video, or do a live stream with you to answer questions, tally to your scenario. If you have any technology and you want to apply legitimate illiteracy knowledge in the evolution of its enterprise model, leave me an email and I'll help you with that. I'm your boy Terry, and that's a constant, so that's what I'm about. I'll read the verse again. It says, while the geeks take the route of emanating complex outer space innovation, there must be another taking the simplest yet circumvented down-to-earth approach to innovation. This is essential for balance sake. So I'll explain this. I'll try to keep this video short because there's so much noise, distraction, and there's wind as well, and so let's just keep it short, and also to keep your attention here, let's just keep the video short. So I'll break it into parts. First, it says, while the geeks take the route of emanating complex outer space innovation. Let's stop there. Let's look at the world. Many times it's about the true state of the world. Most times we do not know the true state of the world. We don't have our exact perception to the state of the world. We are influenced and sometimes manipulated by today's world standards, curriculums, entire curriculums set in place to blur our vision to the true state of the world. This is true. This is established. This is establishable. In case in case you're not conclusive about this, again, you can contact me. Let's do a live stream and we'll make it establishable. We'll open your eyes to these things. But this video is about this particular statement. The first part saying that while the geeks take the route of emanating complex outer space innovation, looking at innovation today, it's mostly outer space innovation. We even down to the simplest of innovations today is made to be befitting of aliens. That's just the reality, and I'll break these things down. There's no crime with this. Of course, the world wants a fascination. They want to catch a fancy. That's what adds merriment to livelihood in humans. Everyone wants to catch the next high, for the most part. So, and most things of fancy sell, things of luxury, things that are superficial, glamorous, almost dreamlike, unbelievable from outer space. These things sell in today's world. There's crypto kitties, there's artificial intelligence, there's attempt at human clones, there is artificial intelligence. I mentioned that already, but those are even to the extremities in technological advancement. We will tackle even the very simplest of technologies and look at the algorithms guarding the enterprise model for these technologies, and you'll see that it's just befitting of bots, not entirely done to favor humans. Now we're referring to anyone. Everything about legitimate illiteracy is posed for anyone, to where knowledge is available to anyone, just courtesy of the fact that they are humans. So let's look at even the simplest of technology. Pick one. Let's start with Google. A very simple technology, a database containing information, saved over time. Let's just wait for this truck to pass. Yes, a database containing input from humans around the globe. Okay, but of course it's a business venture as well. Nothing wrong with it being a business venture, but when that becomes the primary base of a technology, then there's a shift towards outer space, to create, let's just wait. Okay, let's just break it down. Let's just keep it simple. I need to keep this video short. Okay, so let's tackle the algorithm behind the search engine. Of course, the search engine, everybody wants to rank on the first page of Google. Now, this of course is a value when you have a business or you have a movement and you want these things to be seen organically by a targeted audience or by the entire globe. You want to rank in the first page of Google. But the question is it possible? Yes, it is, but is it a possibility for anyone to rank on the first page of Google? What is Google's algorithm for measure of relevance? Of course, relevance is primary parameter for what Google presents to its users. Relevance of content in relation to a search query. Okay, so what is Google's algorithm? You don't need to go into Google's laboratories and identify their codes. Just experimentally using Google constantly, you can tell what the algorithm is. One measure for relevance is popularity over time. Of course, world-renowned celebrities will rank in the first page of Google. Why? Because of a popularity factor. They become the reference, and everybody references them, and then Google used that as a measure for determining what the whole world wants. But is that a reality? Is that what the whole world wants? For example, I typed the word money as a search query into Google. What is the essence in my case for wanting to search the word money? The world doesn't know of the down-to-earth spaces of the earth, of Mama Earth, and its complex tenets that are applicable or obtainable in those locations. Now, there are many scenarios for why I would want to type the word money. The word's established notion when you type the word money is perhaps you're looking for money. But even if that's the case, is Google that smart in the application of its algorithms? The Outerspace, if it was that smart, then it should be likeliest to provide you with the address to the nearest ATM when you type the word money in. But of course, it isn't likely to show you that. That is bizarre nonsense by world standards. Let's put that aside. Now, you simply may be looking for the definition of money. Oh, people have been talking for money. People are dying because of money. Entire wars, business ventures are built around money. That you start to question, oh, what is this money? What is this money they're talking about? So it's also possible that you search the word money because you want to find the definition of money. But what will Google end up showing you? It either may show you, how to make money online, or it's a long time since I typed the word money in, but I'm very sure it won't show you the address to the nearest ATM, and I doubt it will show you the definition of money. It's likely to show you how to make money online, or a money guru, someone that has grown popular on the subject matter money over time. You type the word face in Google, you are likely to find Facebook as the first result. You type the word face and you are instantly swayed away from your original intention and advertised to a popular body, Facebook. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. What we are saying is that there is more balance when legitimate literacy is taken into account in the evolution of the enterprise model for any technology. There becomes a balance. This technology becomes more cognizant of anyone, thus more powerful, even in terms of revenue generation, because now you're catering to the entire globe, billions as opposed to hundreds of millions. You now see the power of legitimate literacy, and that will bring us to the other side of the verse, which I'll explain. But let's still tackle this. Now, I'm not trying to create all the scenarios. I'm just trying to open your mind's eyes so that when you're looking again, maybe at a technology that you're about to undertake, a venture, a startup, open your eyes. Just open your eyes to this other aspects. The true state of the world, so that you can create a model that caters to the true state of the world, and that's very powerful. Okay, so which other one? Facebook. What exactly does Facebook do? It offers you a free platform, yes, a social media platform where you can exchange moments with your friends and acquaintances. Very good. But how is the algorithm shaped? It's a very popular website. Let's take spam, for example. Most of these social media outlet platforms see spam as a ginormous crime. You get banned for spam. You get trolled for spam. No, we're not saying that spam is right. But in legitimate literacy, there are other things to look at besides the spam. Other aspects of the human behind the spam, perhaps passion. If you look at Gmail or there is spam. At the very least, you can eat of the spam. But most of these popular platforms are so blatant in the consequences they give, they shed towards spammers. But did you know that there are certain worlds where something as simple as a ban can shatter someone entirely, his dreams, even down to his livelihood, depending on the timeliness of that ban? The world is novice to these things. There are entire worlds where someone has to climb the top of a tree to get data, only to harmlessly, according to him, post something in relation to his dream, leave a message in relation to his dream to a stranger, and the next thing, your account is hit with a suspension or a ban. I had a Facebook account that was banned. I harmlessly, I have many innovation ideas, and at the time I would contact Mark Zuckerberg, people that I don't know, and then I'm hit with a ban. People on YouTube are afraid of copyright strikes. Not in every case are people, with the intent to spam when their content comes about as spam. So entire oracles are put in place to curb these things. Like, that is the problem with the world. That is the biggest problem with the world. And this shapes the algorithms guarding this platform. Now, the question is, does anyone have a chance? Look at exactly what does Facebook do. It mines of humans. Create features to give its users comfort, which is a good thing. But, decipher the very elements of humans, gather this data, collect it, define and redefine it, process it, so that they are able to, influence humans to, high measures, give this information to advertisers, and advertisers can very pinpointly target humans. They have information and get to know humans more than these humans know them. So much so that humans become accountable to them while they are not accountable to humans. Powerful stuff right there. Now, blockchain came about, blockchain technology, to try to eliminate this, give everyone an equal playing ground. But what is happening to blockchain right now? Money comes around. There's reward distribution on blockchain, and that becomes the primary essence of blockchain. Instead of blockchain now as a tool to adjust mentality, to really create decentralization, Outerspace algorithms, notions of the world is playing its role once again. Same paradigms that guard mainstream social media platforms is replaying again on blockchain. And blockchain is becoming ordinary in terms of its use. Google, the information of Google is simply recycled because the same standards has existed over years for relevance. Popularity, location. Location is a barrier to your possibility of ranking in the search engines. Because according to Outerspace knowledge, according to world standards, nations are nations. According to legitimate illiteracy, nations are merely locations. Now, when nations are nations, there is bound to be barriers. With the label of nation, then there is bound to be barriers. There is bound to be a race factor. There is bound to be a location factor. This becomes deterrence from the possibility of anyone having a chance of ranking in the search engines. Because now IP location becomes a factor. You're in the Philippines, but you have a sincere intention of reaching a USA audience. You write an article, 10,000 or 20,000 words, with hopes that it ranks in the search engines, but the algorithms are posed with IP location being a factor, a measure of relevance. Oh, you're not from the Philippines, you're from another nation, your content is not befitting of people in USA. There are so many scenarios to create, but this is 20 minutes long already. This is more of an eye-opener, so I will not go into that. Let's tackle the other part of the... Again, I can talk with you, any startup, anything you want to do. I can give you legitimate literacy knowledge. Just contact me. So the other part is very simple. Now we are going to bring about a balance by taking cognizance of both sides when it comes to the evolution of the enterprise model. Facebook has not taken cognizance of the other side. That's why it has to buy demography. It has to buy Instagram. Once they have gathered a particular demography, it has to buy WhatsApp. And you see many applications doing just that. Google has to buy maybe Android or whatever. Maybe Microsoft has to buy Skype. I don't know. So we will not talk much more on that. The other side says there must be another, taking the simplest yet circumvented, down-to-earth approach to innovation. This is essential for balance sake. So let's look at the very down-to-earth. Is there knowledge in the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth? In those places that are labeled slums, on the streets of the Philippines or Nigeria, or that are labeled developing, third world by world standards, is there knowledge there? Is there rare intel in the hands of the legitimate illiterate? This is a rhetorical question to you, but to me, it's an actual question, and I'll answer it. The answer is a typical big yes. So much rare intel lies in the hands of the legitimate literate. So this knowledge needs to be revealed. This knowledge is pummeled into redundancy because of world curriculums. Entire nations' curriculums are put in place to deaden this curriculum or its existence. Much of the knowledge from these spaces aren't documented, aren't in the books, but this knowledge exists. Sometimes this knowledge is deadened into redundancy due to circumstances, so much hardship, so much darkness in tunnels. We become labeled as people in tunnels, whereas according to legitimate literacy, lights can go right inside tunnels, courtesy of our shine. By outer space knowledge or book knowledge, it says wait till the end of the tunnel to find light. Anyway, that aside. So it's established there is rare intel in the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth, in legitimate literacy. In the so-called nonsense, you can sift of it to find sense therein. In the not so good, you can find testimonial use for good. So now that it is established that there is knowledge in legitimate literacy, and there is an entire world span of population, billions in population, that fall in this other category. So even in terms of, let's put technological advancement aside, even if your primary goal is to make revenue, if you take cognizance of legitimate literacy, complementing Outerspace knowledge in the evolution of your enterprise model, your technology will rank great. You will have an edge instantly, surpassing Google. This is true, and I'll break it down. So let's use the same scenarios that we used earlier. Now imagine if the likes of Google had content that is recycling. No, that is not recycled. That is ever refreshing and dynamic. Everyone will begin to have a chance at ranking in the search engines. Knowledge will not be static. Knowledge will become more decentralized, available to everyone. Oh gosh, I can't stop these dogs. Let's just wait. I apologize for this. For example, I created a form of content called ulogs. Oh gosh, just a moment. What's popular, content form that is popular today, that fills the search engine, they're called blogs, and we also have vlogs. But now, I don't know what's giving these dogs a fuzz. Maybe I'll take a walk and I'll look for one other location. I apologize. So I need to take a walk. I'm on the street, and I'll just move to do this. So I'll just take a walk. I'll find somewhere else to sit. Let me sit here for a start. If there's trouble here, I'll move to another place. We'll surmount mountains about for this. Okay, so this place is bright enough. Yeah, so oh gosh, okay. Yeah, better like this. So yes, I created a form of content. It's called ulogs. Very simple. The themes of the Downtoearth are very simple. Very, very, very simple. Has always existed, but we tend to pass it by, circumvent it, because it is very simple. For example, when you see poop, the first inclination is, oh, this is thin of dirt. Forgetting that we poop every time. We're made from the dust. You see dirt, the first inclination is to circumvent it. Say, oh, it's smelly, it's dirty. But dirt is good. Ask the soap master. We're made from that dust. That's the reality of life. But world curriculums have painted the earth so much. The world is so painted, and it is becoming unreal. So these very simple things that are of value constitute themes of humans have become a facade, and while the actual illusionary things, superficial things, have become the god. So it's time to bring about balance. So let's go back. So I created a form of content called ulog. A ulog where the U in ulog stands for you. Very simple form of content. Only difference is that it is created entirely fresh each time, without resourcing from the internet or from a book or just excerpts of you in conscious evolution. So, and covering any industry or niche. So for example, you want to write about chemistry. Yes, books exist that we can easily reference, but when you want to do that, of course you can blog. But for a ulog, we want you to create the scenarios by yourself. Create the new molecules and give them names. Speak your own language. You are allowed room to be untalented. The world labels untalent as nonsense and wants you to pursue talent. Climb career ladders for the sake of pursuing talent. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but is there anything wrong with untalent? Where you're told no every time and you keep persisting until a yes is told. Where you're told that you sing off key, but you keep attempting out of the boxness, exploring the so-called nonsense aspects of your voice till you attain excellence. You have that passion, you have that grit, you have that hustle. Hustle is labeled as things of discomfort. No, pursue happiness. Without leaving the preceding statement, run away from sorrow. So that every product is marketable, every human suddenly becomes a client. Because now you're told to run away from sorrow. When sorrow in reality brings about balance to life, it brings about avenues for innovation, for improvisation, for evolution. We neglect these things. Okay, so a form of content called ulogs. Suddenly, everyone has a chance to become celebrity, rank in the search engines. Because now we create a search engine, for example, made of ulogs. Ever refreshing, dynamic, all containing excerpts of human. The bots are flooding Twitter, bots are flooding Facebook, Google. They're taking over in reality. So anyway, I'm a bit disoriented now because my battery is going down, but you get the gist. You get the gist. I need to hurry this because the battery is dying. Okay, so yes, I'm just saying that we open our eyes in the formation of enterprise model of whatever you want to do, to consider the so-called nonsense as well, because this way you can cater to billions in revenue. All my startups are just like that, the application of down-to-earth paradigms. So when I have a reality TV show, it's called On This Talented, opening into everyone, both talent and untalent. I have geeks.org. It's a startup for exchange of service, but allows for experts and non-experts, with a LinkedIn-like integration where you have a resume that allows for flaws. Experts and non-experts. I have MacroHard. It's a startup that will enable everyone to code. The algorithms for that startup uses down-to-earth paradigms. Breaks bigger algorithms into micro algorithms, and suddenly removes all barriers to entry. Removes the notion of developed and developing country. That affects even the coding world. Today you see coders, programmers from Philippines, from India. They don't have recognition same as USA. They're paid bigger amounts because they're labeled developing. And that affects the world of programming. A programmer who wants to aspire no longer has the desire to aspire because he knows, oh, I'm from India, nobody will see me. And that's limits his potential in coding and shapes everything around that. If he wants to create an innovation, he begins to limit himself in his target audience, because he feels he has no say in the world at large. So it's important to consider these other aspects. Spam, where there is spam, copyright issues. That's why create, instead of taking the easy route, blocking spam, there are other routes to take. Like ulog, creating. In my case, I created ulog to remove all the spam worries whilst catering to everyone. That's just an example. When it comes to blockchain technology, yes, we want to eat, but the world notion that some people are poor affects the use of technology towards solutions. Because when you think, okay, people are poor, then the primary essence for blockchain becomes to distribute rewards. But in reality, some people, even from these nations that are not infrastructurally developed or economically at the top, some of these people are there just to have a social outlet. Some people are there to be private because blockchain is private. Some people are there to dent their dreams, to keep their dreams alive in form of tweets or small art or short articles, and keep it permanent and immutable. Some people are there just to see humans in rendezvous and mine, understudy humans, their response to stimuli. But when the notion is that, oh, Philippines is poor, oh, Nigeria is poor, then you use blockchain technology to that effect. Oh, I want to make charity, I want to feed them. Blockchain is powerful. Okay, go to children that are, undressed, and then demean their potential in the future. Because these children, of course, they have no say on matters. No, I'm just giving examples of the potential that there is when you consider, also down-to-earth paradigms in the evolution of whatever project, and legitimate illiteracy knowledge. I'm there for you in that regard. The thing with legitimate illiteracy is it comes with insight. It takes harder routes to get this knowledge. Outer space knowledge is available, it's written, documented in the books. You can see it on the television, through media. So, and you know, so I think I've given enough examples. I didn't intend that this video will be too long. There are many scenarios, when it comes to technology. There's no technology you can mention that legitimate illiteracy knowledge will not empower. Talk of artificial intelligence, talk of your Tesla. If I look at the Tesla today, talk of your laptop. The typical laptop today is made no light. For example, no light on the keypad of a typical laptop. No light on the keypad of a typical laptop. And what if you put lights there? To consider nations where there's usually no electricity. So I have struggles when I use my laptop when I was in another location, not in the Philippines, and of course there's no electricity, and I cannot use my laptop because I can't see the keypad. There is a large span of population that need to be considered. There are people that climb trees to get data. Literally they climb mountains to get data. You consider this ones, then perhaps it will affect. Even if you have an automated oracle, the dynamics for the oracle will adjust. With consideration of these people, because it is indeed possible to shatter someone devastatingly with as simple as a ban. But the world doesn't know of these things. So even my SD card is already ending. Oh gosh, I have a small SD card and it's already full. This is 37 minutes long. Stay awesome. If you need further clarity on this, just contact me. I will look at your scenario and give you knowledge just fitting for that scenario. I'm your boy Terry. That's a constant, whether bulls or bears. And that's what Surpassinggoogle stands for. So please contact me. I have a Patreon account where I'm putting all this. If you want, please, join my Patreon so that you can be seeing this content. You can access me. You can contact me, and I will really care. So please join my Patreon. Even if it's $1, that will really help me. I'm your boy Terry. Make sure to stay awesome.